So welcome everybody. Welcome to the Self-Empowerment and Bliss Show with Satya and Karen. And we are so grateful that you're here, and please share this out and let people know. Hello from Minnesota. Hi, Beth. Thanks for being here, Beth. Welcome, and thank you so much for typing in the chat, because we weren't sure if you were seeing us or not seeing us. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'm going to hand this over to Satya, and she's going to share with you about what we're going to be talking about tonight. So self-empowerment, and why is it important? Why is it important, Satya?
Namaste again to all of our audience. And thank you very much, Karen, for being a co-host on this program. I'm SatyaKalra from Path to Anandam, Path to Blissful Living. Anandam is a Sanskrit word for blissful living. And blissful living is a more wider word which covers the prosperity, happiness, peace of mind, and of course, empowerment, where we feel fully empowered, in charge. So this whole program is how to feel happy, how to feel peaceful, abundant, and what prevents us. And why this program? So this program, basically, the title of this program is Awaken the Feminine Energy. Awaken yourself, the self-awakening of ourself through meditation, through AAA strategy, which is a self-awareness, self-acceptance, self-analysis, and then self-action for correction and meditation. And why did I choose this particular title, self-empowerment, which is a spiritual empowerment? But empowerment is not just the building the confidence, building the self-esteem, having the authority to do whatever we want to do it. It's a lot more than that.
Right.
It covers many areas like political empowerment.
Political empowerment, yeah. Hi, Jay. Thanks for being here, Jay. Thanks for
relationship empowerment, etc. But I am here addressing mainly the feminine energy empowerment, or the woman spiritual empowerment, or woman empowerment, or self-empowerment. Whatever the title you like, put your name on it. So let's all put the name. What do you think this title should be? And then once we go there, then you will be able to, or I'm sure you will reword it. But initially, you can just put it woman empowerment. I just put it woman wellness empowerment.
I think all empowerment is, powerful. So it's important for us to all be empowered as humans here. And I think that empowerment does create bliss. So I love that we're the empowerment, self-empowerment and bliss show. And I really love that we're going to go into I love those 3 A's. Maybe we could revisit those 3 A's again, Satya. So hey, Sean, welcome.
Yes, so I will revisit it, but I just want to give you a little bit background. Why did I choose this subject? When I was growing up, I got my BS degree, but going for the further study, I was totally compressed. I was not allowed to go to university. And the reason was that was a co-education. In other words, there the boys and girls were together. And our family did not feel me being a girl going and joining the boys' college where the boys are present as well. One reason. The second reason I was suppressed was that I was at the age where I should get married. I was 18, 19 years old, so I should get married. And women, what does the women or girls do? They just take care of the house. So I was basically being programmed to take care of the family, have children, and have no career, where my inner drive was taking me to build a career. And I realized later on, or not even later on, during that time, but after coming to the Western world, I totally realized, even Oprah always talks about, many other people talk about, and even if you look at the research, it shows that almost 65 million women are suppressed going to schools and colleges. And I happen to be one of them. And I have to struggle so much to get out of that at culture, out of that environment, and go to college for further study. To me,
Yeah, it's so
education,
inspiring. It's so inspiring that you did go, really go with your own intuition and your own inner guidance and create the life that you've created for yourself. It's really inspiring.
but I would have not
You
done
want
it.
that for all children. I know. That's why you created the path to Anandam, is that you want that for all children.
I want it for all children. I want it for all the women, and I want it for everybody who has a craving to go to school. Sometimes they cannot even afford it. Even if you
Right.
take many boys in poor countries, you go to new development countries or the poor countries, and many areas of even in India or in Africa and places, the girls are not allowed, the boys are not allowed to go to school, because if they go to school, then who is going to help their parents to work on the farms?
Mm.
So education is so important, and I would have not been able to do it if my mother did not support me. My mother was the one who totally supported me. My father supported me, but we were in a joint family where the decision makers were my uncles and my cousins, not my immediate family. And
How does that work? Can you explain that? Because we don't have that in our culture. How does that work?
so my father had two brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and each of them had five unmarried children.
Okay.
And we were three siblings. One of my uncle's first wife died. So is my father's first wife died. So he had four children from his first wife, and my father had three daughters from his first wife. So, and I was coming into more like a new generation because I was coming from a second wife. And I was the one from very childhood, always have a mentor. And it's not I'm bragging, but I was the superstar of the community.
Right.
I was the youngest child going to a sewing school, which is now considered as a fashion show. I mean, the fashion school, or the learning to be a fashion designer school. But in those days, the name was not a fashion designing school. It was a sewing school where you learn how to sew, how to make designs, and everything what we did. Now the protocol and curriculum I look at in the fashion designing school is the same. So I was the 6 years old child who was during the summer time went to the fashion designing school. And people used to come and look at it, that how come such a young girl is in the school? And of course, there were no requirements or limitation that you have to be a certain age to get admission in the school. So I was immune to that. And I was the youngest child, like 6, 7 year old. I could drive, I could bike, the adult bike, for my older brother. So anything and everything, I could do it. And when I was in that time, I could, we were from the middle class over there, or upper middle class. So I was driving the car, scooters, and there were only 5, 6 cars in the whole city. And we were the one of the family who had the cars. But our business was joint. Families were living separately, so they had a separate kitchen, separate homes. But The business was joined, so all the financial decisions, all the decisions for the family were being made in the business arena, not at homes. So making a decision for me to go to college was not my father or my mother's or my decision. It was my uncle and my cousin's decision. And since they had 3 daughters each, and none of them were to the level where they would go to that higher education at that time, I was the only one. And so they had a little bit, I would say, resentment kind of thing also toward me, that why I am so likable by the community, and I was always the top notch student in my class and all that. So there was some other element were going on, whatever was, but basically I was being suppressed tremendously. And my mother and father could support it, but again, the financially they were dependent from the business, because the money has to come from the business for education, for everything. So their hands were tied to a certain degree as well. So, but with my mother's support, with my father's support, silently my father's support, and then my, I would say, assertiveness, took me to the college to co-education, and I got my master's degree after my BS degree. And so when I feel that how much I was compressed, and when I hear the other people go through the same situation, then I feel like many people are activists for that. And I have been always activist to motivate the people who are suppressed, whether they are male or female. However, I run into cross with so many women in that field. And that's why I specialized one of the area which I do the coaching to a lot of women who are the CEOs and high business groups, or in the high management. So that's why this subject is so dear to me. And I feel like if I could do it, just by being motivating myself, by looking at the mentors of the some doctors in the city and the lawyers and all that, and my always motivation was to me, if they can do it, I can do it too. What's wrong?
Thank you, Gina. Gina Marie says, I'm right there with you, Satya. That's so inspiring.
So
right there with you.
So what I felt, that first I had to awaken myself.
Right.
That I am no less than others. I am as capable as anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm as intelligent as anybody else. So why these limitations on me? So I start driving toward that direction and start motivating other people and helping them to realize that who they are within. Because during that time when and then, after that study, I got married and I just came to USA. When I came to USA, my another life started, because I married to a man, just an arranged marriage. Parents arranged it. I didn't know him. He didn't know me much.
I didn't know that, Satya. I never knew that about you.
So when I came to this country, I'm learning about this new person. Plus, we were not that vocal, or we had no idea what the man looks like. Only exposure I had was my brothers and my father, and he was quite different than them. So I had no idea.
Wow.
One of my uncle, by the way, one of my uncle was like him as well, who was the.
So that was arranged for you to marry somebody and come over to the United States?
Yes.
Wow.
And then coming to Chicago.
And not even from your parents, it was arranged from your uncles and your cousins, right?
No, actually, my parents were also a part of it.
Okay.
Yeah, they were part of it. And he was in our relation, very distance relation. But knowing someone is very different than having somebody in a far distance relationship, where I have not met him before. I met him just 2 weeks prior to the marriage for 15 minutes. And then he came, we just got married. And then he came to our hometown and got married. And then I left with him to his hometown. And then he came to USA. And then I followed him after a couple of months. And again, this whole world was so different because I came from a pretty good financially family. You know, I didn't have a financial problems there. But when I came to USA, he was a student. I had no visa to work. So, and then he had to support the family. We had to support his family in India as well. And Chicago coming in December, so cold weather, snow, not having proper clothes, not having proper shoes, not having proper accessories to survive. And of course, didn't have the car either, and walked so many blocks there. So went through a lot of difficult time. But during that time, then I went back to school. We had 3 children. But one thing happened to me, that I was taking care of everybody, everything. And I totally forgot about myself, and I totally lost myself. And I was just living for others.
Right.
I totally forgot who I was.
Right. Yeah.
I just tried to do things for others, nothing for myself, until I became sick, so many challenges came all of a sudden in my life. That's the time I realized that I had given all of my years of my life to achieving my goals, going to schools, getting degrees, getting titles, taking care of the family. And I forgot who I was. And that's the time I really had to awaken myself, who I am, what are my barriers, how to overcome these barriers, and shook myself up, wake up. It's not too late. And I woke myself up. So if I could do it, coming to different country, different culture, different environment, being a woman, a girl.
Completely different. Yeah. Hi, Grace Carfagna. Thanks for being here.
So I have actually decided to write a book now, because
awesome.
I am going to one of the conference in first week of September. So I will have the outlines. I already have the outlines for the book.
That's awesome.
But then there is another very big conference, Parliament of Religion, World Parliament of Religion. And they have one total different session. One session is for the women empowerment, or the women session. And I am conducting a panel there where I have very high level panelists on my panel, like Vandana, Kumar, and then Paula, and then so many other people are there on my panels who are such a high level. And what we will be sharing in that panel would be that how can we awaken ourselves? And it is men's are there also, because I have given this session before men and women both, because this feminine energy, what I'm talking about, basically it's the self-esteem, self-confidence, and anybody and everybody needs it, whether it's a man or woman. So I'm giving this, presenting this panel in that conference. And in that conference, I want to take this book. Hopefully I can complete that book, and want to get it released over there. So that's why I thought maybe I want to do this special program where people can write the name of the book, what they want to see it. Also, if they have any issues, and also the man who wants to support this feminine energy concept, because feminine energy is the energy within you. That your self-esteem, your inner being,
could you explain that to some of the people who may not know, like the difference between the masculine and the feminine energies? Because we all have masculine energy and divine feminine energy. So could you maybe explain that to the people who are listening right now?
Yes, so we are made with the right brain and left brain,
Okay.
which is also known as the masculine energy and the feminine energy. Right brain is more for the feminine energy, and the masculine left brain is more for the masculine energy. And if you look at from the spirituality point of view, it is also called Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini Shakti is the feminine energy, which goes from our grounding chakra to all the way to our uh, crown chakra. And male and female all have it. But it is, since it's the name is Kundalini, that's why it is called the feminine energy. Now, as study shows, the research shows, and we also know there are so many books related to that, is that women are more connected to heart, left, and when they're connected to heart, it's more, which is left side, which is connected to the right brain also. So they're more feeling oriented, where the men are more connected to the left brain, and where they are more logical. They work with the facts, engineering, PhDs, physics, all those characteristics go to the male. But the woman will be more onto the soft hearted. That's why I call them, God made them a mother, right? Maybe God knew about, I mean, definitely from God, he put the uterus in our tummy so we could bring the children and give them love and tender care. Where
Right.
men, if you ask men to be mother the child, and some of the men can do it. I wouldn't say all of them are not, cannot do it or do not do it, but the majority of the men would be more doing the activities which are more left brain oriented, where the female would be doing more on the right brain, where it is a more feelings oriented, more calming oriented. That's why women are known as the best managers, because they take care of the heart part, the feeling part, and also they're very organized.
Yeah, that's why Gina says that's why we are the mothers.
That's why they're mothers, right?
Yes.
So that,
a mother has to be organized. A mother has to have a plan in order to raise the household. So a mother needs to have those organization skills, and they have to have a heart of, to be able to have compassion for situations. So I love that. Thank you, Gina.
so that's the reason I thought I chose that subject, because the other thing I also noticed that, I mean, I feel since we are so organized, God has chosen us for that purpose. We are heart oriented, we are more organized, we are the best managers. So we are no less than other gender. I feel like
we are no less than other
not
genders.
only that, I mean,
Absolutely.
if you take the spelling of woman, just simply W-O.
And nobody wants to be more than each other either. We all just
Exactly.
want to be shared equally. We all want to be respected equally.
So that's the
This
reason.
show is not about man bashing or putting down anybody. This is about equal rights and equal empowerment for all. We want empowerment for all humans, for all living beings, for all animals too, right? We want empowerment.
And that is the reason that I thought I should bring it, because nowadays, if you look at it, now women empowerment has a kind of a wrong connotation, because it's going on the other end of the pendulum, and they want to have more rights, they want to have more things, this and that, and compete with the other male gender. And I feel there is no need to compete, because we are equally good and they are equally good. So let's support each other, rather than saying this is my right, this is his right, and all that. Even based on that, how many families have been broken?
Yeah.
Why my husband doesn't do it?
How do we bring that into balance, Satya, so that we balance the divine masculine and the divine feminine? What are your suggestions on that?
So I will take it that to the, we will have the one-day whole program for that. First, we will go step by step. This program is basically to give the outlines today, and then
great.
How to balance it, and how to have a more harmonious relationship, because relationship part is a part of it, not just in the family, But in our corporate culture and in our wherever the area we go, rather than feeling we are suppressed, we have to work, give the benefit of doubts to other part also, and work together. So don't just pull on one side or pull it on other side. Be
Right.
in the center, be in the center, be in the balance, and like two hands, male and female. And when we put together like this, see how strong it is. But when we put it one hand like this and one hand like this, then we become weak. So we have to work together and acknowledge this energy within all the human beings, all the living beings. So we do not torture, we do not discriminate and hurt even the animals, because they share the same energy. And we all have the same energy. So there is no reason to suppress the one community or one gender versus the another gender.
Because we're all one, and the only thing that needs healing is the illusion that we're separate, because we really are all having this human experience. Everybody's just having a different experience in their, we all have stories of empowerment, we all have stories of overcoming challenges, and that's why it's so important that we come together and we talk about how do we empower each other by uplifting each other, by building each other up, right? Not pushing or putting each other down. The old way, is you gotta step on people in order to get to the top. That's ridiculous. You definitely don't want to step on people to get to the top. You want to be at the top together so that you have a nice, beautiful co-creation of both collaborating, right? Collaborating.
See, as Oprah says, the whole point of being alive is to evolve into a complete person who we are. So we have to keep that in mind, that we are all complete people, and we have to acknowledge, we have to respect that rather than suppressing each other.
I love that. Thank you, Satya. So that's what this show is going to be about, you guys. These are, Satya will be here. I'm going to be gone for a couple weeks because I'm going to be traveling. But when we come back, we'll be right here. So please like her page. It's Path to Anandam. And I will put the links into the post. She'll also be sharing to Spirituality Gone Wild, so you can watch from Spirituality Gone Wild also, and you can email or you can send in any of the messages that you'd like to at Satya at pathtoanandam.org. So Satya would like to have your questions because she would like to be able to help you answer those questions.
And I'd like to share your story as well, because each story is unique. We all have the stories, but we all have the unique stories where each story teaches us some lesson to learn and move on with our life. So here we are together learning from each other. So send your story to me, send your questions to me. And I also do the coaching, one-to-one coaching as well. So if you have any need for it, I would be happy to speak to you related to that. And our path to Anandam, the blissful life, we have many humanitarian causes. And if you have a cause to share, we'd be happy to support your cause as well. So we are not here just to talk about path to Anandam. We are here to bring this path to blissful living together so we can make a difference in everybody's life, in every particle in this universe. So the whole universe is filled with that blissful energy. So I'm so honored to be here, and I would like to have about 5 minutes meditation.
Okay.
And also in my program, I always give one mantra and tip until we come to the next show. And I will be giving the shows while you are gone, while Karen is gone. So another 2 weeks, I will continue with these programs, and I will post it that when my next program will be, maybe every other day or so, or every third day, I will be posting it. So please look for that. But please send me your information, and I will be also giving you some tips to practice in each session. So today's mantra is, I am as good as anybody else. Just write it down. I am as good as anybody else. So cue that motivational talk to yourself. That is the tip I'm giving you, that anytime you feel that you cannot do it, or you feel down, or somebody puts you down, remind yourself, I am as good as anybody else. I am as good as anybody else. Let's repeat everybody together. I am as good as anybody else. And so now let's sit down for 5 minutes. Close your eyes and breathe all the way down to your stomach. Take a deep breath. Hold it for a few seconds. Exhale slowly through your nose. We are inhaling from the nose, from the left side of the nose, and exhaling from the right side of the nose. Okay. And then we alternate. Okay. And here, due to the time constraint, we do it only 3 deep breaths, but we could do it like 6 deep breaths, so 3 times. So it's a cycle. We breathe in from the left side, breathe out from the right side, and then breathe in from the right side and breathe out from the left side. So we just repeat that 3 times. So take another deep breath. Hold it for a few seconds. Exhale. And now breathe normally. And with every breath, relax your body. Wherever you are sitting, just leave all the weight of your body on your hips. Sit straight. Make sure your spine, your neck, and your head is aligned. Continue to breathe normally and smile with each breath as well, and feel relaxed. And now with each breath, just continue to smile. And now just visualize. And take a life inventory. Where am I in my life? How is my relationship? How is my health? How are my finances? How is my career? Where am I? How is my family life? My social life? My friends? What kind of friends do I have? Am I happy in my life? How is my emotional status? Do I feel happy? Do I feel jealous? Do I feel hurt? Do I feel resentful? Do I feel guilty? Do I have problem expressing myself? Do I have problem in communication with others? Do I sleep well? Or any other questions come to you? Just make an inventory and just see where are you in your life. And now imagine you have no limitations. You are abundant and prosperous financially, in relationship, in your love life. Your career is the one you really want to have. Your health, you are perfectly fine. Your health is well. You are totally well-being. No limitations of your health issues. You are totally a healthy human being, physically, emotionally, and also connected within yourself. Which is also known as, that connection is called the feminine energy connection. You are always smiling, laughing, happy, sleeping well. You have the life of your dream. Just think about it. Just visualize it. Some of them, you might even not know where you want to be, or the life you dream of, because you might be so compressed or maybe bogged down with so many worldly issues that you might not even think about that life which you could really dream of. Imagine, when was the last time you were so happy? Nothing bothered you. You felt like you were on the top of the world. Just be there. Think about that moment. And just think about it and grab it. And live that life. Expand that happiness. Just live there. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace for my body, peace for my mind, and peace for the universe. Now let's rub your hands and put it on your head and on your face. Just gently tap it or massage it. And now rub your hands again. Make a small cup. Put it on your eyes and open it very gently. Thank you very much for joining. So the tip of the day is that you had imagined the best of you. Continue to think about it.
Thank you so much.
Consciousness. And then this program is all about that. So wherever we did the first exercise, you are there. Then you are on the other top of the world where you are totally well-being experiences you experience. So that there is a gap in between where you, with the first exercise and the second exercise. So we will have this blissful journey going from this bottom to the top.
I love it.
Through this AAA strategy, we will talk about 7 steps, and we will talk about meditation. And during this program, the goal of this program is to take you to that top of the world where you are totally enriched with love, peace, compassion. And this is the whole purpose of this program. And this is the whole blissful journey, taking you from here down.
Yeah, that's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
So thank you very much. And please join me on Path to Anandam, like that page. And you can also send me the message on Satya at Path to Anandam at Facebook. These pages are on the Facebook. So send me wherever you can. And please join me. I will be informing you that when I will come next. I will try to come back as soon as I can. But since Karen is going, and I will be just scheduling and sending you the information. So thank you very much for joining, and thank you very much, Karen, for such a wonderful co-host.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
So grateful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
We didn't record it, right?